All right, we are once again coming off a 4-1 day. My 5 personal bets yesterday on Super Bowl Sunday on BrockPage.com. And if you want to see my personal bets, games that I personally have action on, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at BrockPage.com. We're also 2-0 in our last 2 college basketball tier package picks on that very same webpage. And the link for today's college basketball tier package picks is in the description section below. And with that, guys, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the video. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. And if you find yourself enjoying this video here today, please feel free to give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. I'd love to connect with you on a daily basis. With that, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some college basketball action for Monday, February 14th, 2022. Happy Valentine's Day out there to all you lovers. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into our first game. It is going to be Virginia taking on Virginia Tech, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. The Virginia Tech Hokies are -5 with the total at 118.5. Now, we are seeing some early movement toward the Virginia Cavaliers and the under in this one. Virginia Tech opened 5.5 down to 5. Total open 120 down to 118.5. And despite the half a point fade of the Hokies in this one, I'll tell you what, they've been playing some really good basketball here lately. As a matter of fact, they're on a 5-game winning streak, and they're covering the point spread in nearly 70% of their home games. Now, Kaveh Aluma, he's averaging 15.5 points per contest, along with 6 rebounds. Meanwhile, teammate Hunter Couture is drilling 46% of his three-pointers. He's also averaging double-digit points a game. Couture has been an absolute menace shooting the ball from three-land. And speaking of shooting the three ball, the Hokies are actually in the top 3 in the nation in offensive three-point percentage. So when they get hot from beyond the arc, you better watch out because they're going to run up the score on you. They're taking on a Virginia team who's amongst the worst offensive teams in the country. Definitely not built for a track meet. They're scoring only 62 points a game on the road. And they're making only 30% of their three-pointers in that same category. Now, Virginia also has a losing record away from home this year as well. When it comes to the total in this one, 4 out of Virginia's last 5 got over the line. Cavaliers are also 6-3 to the over in their last 9 on the road. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech, on the other side of things, they went 70% to the over in their last 10 outings themselves. I'm going to lean toward Virginia Tech -5 in the over 118.5. All right, next ball game should be a good one. I'm talking about West Virginia versus Kansas State. That's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Kansas State is -4 at home with the total at 134.5. Now, we did see a 1-point move toward the over in this one here. The total opened 133.5 up to 134 and a hook. And speaking of the number, well, Kansas State saw unders recently with Baylor, Ole Miss, and Texas Tech. The Wildcats are officially 8-5 to the under on their home court this season. Meanwhile, the Mountaineers on the other side of things, they saw 7 out of their last 10 meetings with Kansas State fall under the line as well. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. Now, when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game's being featured as my college basketball tier package pick on BrockPage.com. So if you want to find out whether I'm laying the points with Kansas State in this one, or if I like West Virginia catching the 4 on the road, there's only one way to find out, and that's to sign up for my college basketball tier package pick on BrockPage.com. And the link for that pick is in the description section below. But as far as making a free pick goes on this video that I'm not actually betting on, let's go ahead and take the under 134.5 in that ball game. All right, next contest I have for you. Let's see if it's on the big screen. It should be. Yeah, there it is. Talking about Dayton versus Rhode Island, 9 o'clock Eastern start time. Dayton's -2 with the total at 125.5. Now, we're seeing movement toward Dayton and the over in this one. As a matter of fact, we saw a half-a-point move toward the Flyers and a 3-point move upward on the number. Once again, Dayton opened 1.5 up to 2. Total open 122.5 up to 125 and a hook. Now, Dayton's been playing some really good basketball here recently. They're 8-2 straight up in their last 10 ball games. And they're actually amongst the best defensive teams in the entire country. As a matter of fact, Dayton's allowing only 60 points per contest. And they also find themselves in the top 3 in the country in defensive boards. Now, scoring-wise, when it comes to offensive production, Deron Holmes, he's scoring 11.5 points a game, along with 5 rebounds. Meanwhile, Kobe Ellis, he's drilling 45% of his shots from beyond the arc. He's also averaging just about double-digit points a game. And speaking of shooting the basketball, well, Dayton's also in the top 10 in the nation in offensive field goal percentage on the road. These guys are actually making nearly 50% of their field goals when they travel. This is a Dayton team who's got a lot of really good things going on for them. Now, they're taking on a Rhode Island team who lost 6 out of their last 7 themselves, and they covered the point spread only twice during that span. Now, the Rams have also had some issues offensively this season. They're kind of struggling when they have the ball in their hands. They're actually averaging only 68 points a game. And they're making only 63% of their free throws at home. So these guys really struggling from the stripe. You know, you put them in the line and they're not making you pay. And when that happens, that could be very, very problematic. Now, total-wise, Rhode Island did see their last 3 straight all get over the number. Meanwhile, Dayton saw 5 out of their last 7 road games get over the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward Dayton -2 in the over 125.5. Next contest, it is going to be Oklahoma State versus Kansas, 9 p.m. Eastern start time. Kansas is -10.5 with the total at 143. Now, we saw a 1.5 point fade of the Jayhawks and movement toward the under in this one. Kansas opened 12, down to 10.5. Total opened 143.5, down to 143 even. Now, the Jayhawks do have one of the most powerful offensive attacks in the Big 12. They're scoring over 80 points a game at home, and they're making 50% of their field goals in the Allen Fieldhouse. And speaking of field goals, well, the Jayhawks are currently in the top 5 in the nation in offensive field goal percentage. Like I said, these guys have been really good with the ball in their hands. Now, Ochai Agbaji is averaging just about 20 points a game, along with 5 rebounds and 45% shooting from 3 land. Ochai's been really good shooting that long ball. Meanwhile, Christian Braun, he's scoring over 15 points per contest himself, along with 5 boards and 3 assists. And when it comes to rebounding the basketball, Kansas is currently in the top 20 in Division I in defensive boards per contest. They're taking on an Oklahoma State team who lost 5 out of their last 7. And they also have a tough time getting the W on the road. As a matter of fact, the Cowboys are winning only 25% of their road games this year. And they're shooting just 29% from downtown in those contests. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Oklahoma State's last 5 road games got over the number. They're also 70% to the over in their last 10 meetings with Kansas. Meanwhile, the Jayhawks, on the other side of things, they've actually gone 8-4 to the over in their last dozen at the Allen Fieldhouse themselves. Plenty of overs to go around between these two teams. I'm going to lean toward Kansas -10.5 and the over 143. Next contest, it is going to be Washington State versus Oregon, 9 p.m. Eastern start time. The Oregon Ducks are -5 with the total at 134.5. Now, we're seeing heavy movement toward the Ducks and the over in this one. Oregon opened 3.5 all the way up to 5. Total opened 132 up to 135. But despite taking much of the early money here, the Ducks failed to cover in their last 3 straight. And they also have a losing record against the spread at home. Now, when it comes to rebounding the basketball, Oregon's actually amongst the worst in the country to do it offensively at home. They're taking on a Washington State team who's 5-1 straight up in their last 6 on the road. These guys are amongst the best road teams in the country. And in addition to that, they're actually leading the nation in road defensive field goal percentage. The Cougs are actually limiting their competition to just 36% shooting from the field away from home. Once again, that is best in Division I in that category. Of course, they're only allowing 59 points a night in their travels. Now, scoring-wise, Michael Flowers, he's averaging 13.5 points per contest along with 3 boards and 3 assists. Meanwhile, Tyrell Roberts, he's also scoring 11 points a game along with a couple of rebounds. And speaking of offensive production, Wazoo's actually averaging 75 points a game away from home. So these guys playing excellent basketball on both ends of the court when they travel. Now, total-wise, Washington State's 8-1 to the under in their last 9 ball games. They also went 70% to the under in their last 10 against Oregon. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. Meanwhile, the Ducks on the other side of things, they saw unders recently with Stanford, Colorado, and Oregon State. I'm going to lean toward Washington State. The Cougars +5 and the under 134.5. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at brockpage.com, where we are currently 2-0 in our last 2 college basketball tier package picks. I like Virginia Tech -5 over 118.5. I also like the under 134.5 in the West Virginia-Kansas State game. Give me Dayton -2 over 125.5. Kansas Jayhawks -10.5 over 143. Washington State +5 under 134.5. And as far as all the other games go across this great country, I like Creighton -10.5 over 142. UNC Wilmington -12.5 over 140. Give me New Hampshire -2 under 137. St. Bonaventure, the Bonnies, -2.5 under 137. Give me Austin P -11.5 under 122. I like Lafayette +14 over 140.5. Give me Holy Cross -2.5 under 133. I like Lehigh -5 over 144. I also like Fairfield -6 under 133.5. Give me Purdue Fort Wayne, that's PFW, +2 over 142. I also like Charleston -4 over 149.5. Davidson -14 under 135 and a hook. Give me Howard -4 under 138.5. I also like the Delaware Blue Hens -5.5 over 147. I like Marist -2 under 130.5. Give me Coppin State -1.5 in the over 142. UCF Knights -7.5 over 140. Give me Hartford +12 under 137.5. I like Delaware State +14 under 133.5. Give me Morgan State -2.5 in the over 148. Alabama A&M -6 under 127.5. Illinois Chicago -18 under 126 and a hook. I like Southern Utah +1.5 over 157. Southern Miss +12 over 137. Give me Jackson State -6 under 121.5. I also like Alcorn State -5 under 129 and a hook. Give me Prairie View -5 over 144. Texas Southern -3 under 138. And with my next and final free pick for the video, I'm going to lean toward Alabama State -11 in the over 144. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. If you guys do end up getting a package here today on my website, just keep in mind you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. I always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. And if you want to get access to every single pick that I give out on that website, you're going to want to sign up for my board member tier package. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Monday to you. Happy Valentine's Day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.